Macau comes to Hong Kong this Saturday afternoon for 10 races out of Sha Tin. It's back. The Hong Kong Macau Trophy is the feature, and we've got the meeting covered for you right here on Racing to Win. Joined in the studio today by Paul Lally and Tom Wood. And Tom, just before we focus on Saturday, Longines World Horse rankings out. Lucky Sweyness, a big mover. Yeah, he's been a skyrocket up the list, Mark, moving into third. But look, it's been a meteoric rise for him, that's for sure. But it's great to see Hong Kong having 4 of the 6 top horses amongst those Longines World rankings there as well. Equinox and Golden 60, the top 2. We'll focus now on Saturday, Paul. And can you jackpot us?
Yeah, we can. There's 2 jackpots. Triple Trio, 1.3 million. That should get up over 3 million. 1.3 starting in that jackpot. And also 2.3 in the 6-up as well, win bonus. So that's going to get up over 5. So a couple of good ones there.
And it's a Saturday.
Yeah, strange things happen.
They do indeed. We've got some scratchings to pass on before we go any further right now, and there are a few of them too across the meeting. The first in race 2, the Grey Knot Running Racing Fighter. Brave and Bold comes in for his second race day appearance. Zach Purton rides him. Race 4, Sterling Wong Choi will delay his debut because he's scratched. Race 4, number 8. Race 5, number 6, Magic Toronado has been replaced by Turtle again. Harry Bentley is the rider on the Turtle. And race 9, number 10, Euro Rocks has also been withdrawn. So they are the changes that have come through prior to the show this afternoon. Now, the meeting for Saturday lines up this way. We're all on the turf at Sha Tin, and we're up to meeting number 70 for the season. And Seacourse is the course in operation. First race at 1 o'clock. The 2 races we focus on. Race 7, the Class 1 Hong Kong Macau Trophy over the 1400, and race 8, the Macau Handicap Good Field Class 3 over the 1200 metres. Post time for the 7th is 4:05, and one of the visitors is Star of Yucheng at the top, has won 15 races in Macau. Beauty Eternal, 2 starts for 2 wins, course and distance. Circuit Stella likes to go forward, better draw than last time, he's got barrier 3. Keefe struggled in the 4-year-old series and then did some work last time when behind Beauty Eternal. 7 of these runners are out of the Beauty Eternal race. A Fantastic Treasure, 3-time course and distance winner, out to win the second of the Macau horses, has been racing over 1500, a winner over 1500 last time, so he comes back in trip. Turin Red Sun, a new stable now with Pierre Ung and Nellie Fines. Best form has been at Happy Valley. Pfeiffer down the bottom is the third of the Macau visitors. 3 starts over the 1400 for a win and a third. Now the speed here, Tom. Circuit Stella crossed from 13 last time, so should easily lead from a better draw this week, you'd think. Yeah, you'd think he should be able to here with that low draw. De Souza riding for Tony Cruz, and he was in it for a long way last time out. Was Circuit Stella. Beauty Eternal, he had a tough run in transit but was able to wind up late and win, but he should get a lovely run through with barrier number 4. Star of Yucheng shouldn't be too far away with Keefe, who was a bit disappointing last time out, but he did cover a bit of ground, so he should get a more economical run, and Pfeiffer on the inside. But there are quite a few horses in this race, Paul, that do get back to
Yeah, there are a lot. A horse like Red Lion, I think, will be further back because he's drawn wide as well. Beluga might lead up that third wide line because he's a horse that has drawn wide. Out to win, the Macau horse at the back there, he can be slow away in the starts. He's been slow away in a few of them, so that's why I think he's going to end up towards the back. Pfeiffer, the other Macau horse, he's a horse that can go forward, can go back, so I think they'll be positive here in Sha Tin. And Star of Yucheng, I think Yucheng will be handy. He likes to jump and run.
That's the speed map, but the focus has to be the horse that pulled victory from the jaws of defeat last time, Beauty Eternal, and of course he's going to be ridden by Zach Purton.
Zach Purton, Beauty Eternal is your ride in the Hong Kong Macau Trophy this weekend. That was another impressive performance from him last time.
He's done a really good job this season. He hasn't let us down. He's turned up every time, and he did that again last time.
This trip, 1400 metres, clearly does suit him well. Unbeaten so far over the distance.
Yeah, last time he, coming back from the Derby distance, he took quite a while to accelerate and get into top gear, and he only just got there on the line. So with the extra weight this time, hopefully we can get into it maybe a little bit earlier and help him with the distance.
How's he coming on as an individual, Zach? Obviously, he's had this big boom on him, and as you say, he hasn't let anybody down as such. And do you feel that he's progressing still with every race that he runs in this?
He hasn't really had, an ideal prep to his career so far, where we had to rush him to get him to the Derby. So he stepped from 12 to 14 to 16 to 2,000, and then obviously had to be freshened up to come back to 1,400 metres last time. And the way he got to the line, it looked like a mile might be his best distance. But here we are again at the 1,400, and it's probably the first time since the early start to his career that he's run at the same distance 2 times in a row. So he hasn't been able to get into the groove as such, but he's been doing a really good job, and hopefully he can continue on with that.
What about a pace perspective in this race, Zach? Obviously, is he a horse that sort of relies on a little bit of pace? I mean, it looks as if there might be some in this race for sure with Circuit Stella and co.
Well, that'll help him. Obviously, like I said, he hit that flat spot but got to the line nicely last time. So if the pace is on, that'll allow him to roll into it a little bit more comfortably, and hopefully that'll offset maybe the shorter distance that he's running at again this time, that he might be wanting a little bit further again.
He might well, Zach, provide you with some very important winners, obviously. The winners have been flowing. Just wanted to touch upon the record. It's within touching distance, isn't it? What's your take on it at the moment?
Yeah, I haven't... I know if you look at the numbers and you would... the amount of winners I've ridden and the good winners I've ridden and the horses I've ridden, you'd probably look at it and say that I've had a good season or an excellent season. But I just feel like I've been grinding and I haven't really been going as well as I would have liked. A few of the trainers that I thought I might get a little bit more support from haven't really got behind me, so it's been a little bit frustrating. I've had a lot of bad gates. That's Hong Kong, right? You just got to deal with what's thrown at you. But I want to be going better than I am. Yeah.
Nick with Zach at Sha Tin earlier on this Friday morning. Let's go back to this race now, Tom, with Beauty Eternal winning last time. So many of them come out of this race. He was 3 wide. He was following Keefe. Circuit Stella leads up here. The Irishman 6th, and Fantastic Treasure really hammers home late.
Yeah, well, certainly some thought Circuit Stella wasn't sort of up to this last time out, but he never gave it away really, and it was only really the last 50 metres that Beauty Eternal was able to get over the top of them. You can see how much of a wide run Keefe had. The Golden Scenery wasn't too far away, and Fantastic Treasure with the Irishman out wider, Paul, but all these horses are also, a lot of them anyway, dropping in the weights here, which I think is going to be more suitable for a few of them too.
Yeah, definitely. I thought Red Lion's run was pretty good because he got a little bit crowded there as well, but a really nice win here obviously from Beauty Eternal. The Irishman caught the eye there as well, finishing off with the Golden Scenery, so I'm going to include those.
He carries 9 pounds less too this week, does the Irishman. But Beauty Eternal, Paul, here he's a report card following a career spanning just the 7 starts.
Hard to fold, isn't it? 7 starts with the 5 wins. One of them unlucky and the other one in the Derby. So, yes. Look, he could, in theory, could almost be close to unbeaten, this horse.
Yeah, and of course he was coming back from the 2,000 metres last time out, so hopefully he'll be that bit closer with a good draw this time around for Size and Purton.
Speaking of John Size, Tom, this is what he has done so far for the season. Struggling a bit in the stakes.
Yeah, certainly is. 123 million there, just shy of 124, but he's had 60 winners so far. He's had, I think, 11 winners across the last 10 meetings. He's got a nice little buffer at this point, Paul, on Frankie Law, about 9, I think, from memory.
Yeah, so look, it's his to lose at the moment, the way things are going, and he's got some nice horses coming through, and I think he's got some good chances on the undercard as well.
Here are those runners on the undercard, Paul.
Yeah, look, I thought Brave and Bold will improve on that first up run. Pin Sprints coming in fresh, has won fresh before. I like Midas Touch. I've really liked his trials. Diamond Winner's got blinkers on. Noble Ace is one that's got claims at the bottom as well. We've got all those horses like Beauty Eternal, Red Lion, obviously got massive chances. Bundle of Charm, Beauty Fit ran well last time. And I don't mind unpresuming on the last. I think they'll go forward this time.
All right, that is a look at John Size's runners for the meeting. One of them, Tom, is Red Lion, who wins this race. Circuit Stella 50 wasn't quite as good this day, but as we've seen, he has bounced back since.
Yeah, and Red Lion's got a light weight to carry here. He's got barrier 13, which is not ideal, so they just might be that little bit further back this time around. He got his head up at the start and raced next to Beauty Eternal throughout in his last start effort, but kept on. And prior to this was him winning through the middle of the ruck here. Fantastic Treasure was there as well in Circuit Stella, but I want to keep him safe in this race, Paul, with the lightweight.
Me too, yeah, I've got him. I've actually got him as the Quinella horse because I thought he was really brave in that race because that gap was sort of closing a little bit on him, but he pushed his way through it nicely.
We move on now, Paul, to some Happy Valley form. Cheerful Days better last time, running fourth at his favourite track, the Valley, but he's not the horse of last season, is he?
No, he's not. And this is a really tough race, a really strong race. So I think he might just struggle in this one. He went up so quick, didn't he, winning all those races last season. He's just struggled this season.
What is going to help him is he's got a lot less weight to carry this time around, of 115 pounds compared to the 128 last time out. But he's not been the same horse this season. And I think probably just the ratings have caught up with him.
He's also in this replay too. Tommy runs 10th here, but Nelly Fine runs 3rd. He's a horse that's raced well around Happy Valley, but ordinary record so far at the bigger track.
Yeah, and he's a few pounds out of the handicap here as well. He's had a little freshen up since his last run here for 3rd behind Savaquin, where he was making good enough ground at the end, I thought. But in this grade, he just might struggle again, Paul. But look, out of the handicap is going to be tough for him, isn't it?
Very tough. 6 starts at Sha Tin, best is a 4th. So this is a really tough race.
He has trialled, Paul, up at Chung Fa. Here he is running 3rd, and he does find the line quite well.
Yeah, look, it's a nice enough trial. Look, I'd be more interested in Happy Valley. I just think this is a really tough race. I know he's got the lightweight and everything. He comes into it, but look, I think he'll struggle in this.
This was the trial that was won by Mighty Stride, who failed at Sha Tin, of course, last weekend. He did cover a bit of ground in this trial, did nearly fine, but looked to be certainly doing his best work late down the outside. But, yeah, I think probably just wait for him to get back to Happy Valley. But the trial did look good.
That is Team Hong Kong China. On to Team Macau now, Tom, and we go back to a replay of Star of Yuchong winning and Pfeiffer. This race is in Macau. The race name was the Cincinnati.
Yes, it was over the 1,500 metres back on the 25th of February. And look, he's obviously got a good level of ability, this horse, but he's missed a lot of work since being here. He's had a temperature, a blood abnormality. I think he's been only on the track once, and he's got a big weight to carry, Paul. So all of those things, I think, ring a few alarm bells. Yeah,
and I think he's got the wood on Pfeiffer as well, so that doesn't really sort of help his chances either. That was 1,500. They run 1,500 Macau. I think the 1,400 will suit him.
This is not a whole lot much more than what he's done since he's been here, Paul.
This is it. This is it so far. He's just gone onto the track and had a look around. So.
And that was, back on the 10th, and he had the blood abnormality and the temperature on the 5th, so there's a lot of days there without any work, isn't there?
Far from an ideal preparation. Out to win here, Tom. He actually is promoted to victory in this race.
Yes, some terrible interference by whoever was riding the horse on the outside. To here in the blue, just completely carved half the field up, and Pfeiffer actually copped a bit of that as well. So it was a bit like bumper cars in the straight here, Paul. And he's had no early pace in his couple of his runs, but look, he probably would have won this had he had that clear run.
Yeah, once he knuckled down. His problem is the starts. He tends to miss the starts, so that can be a little bit of a problem. Here's his track work. He's actually worked since he's been here in Hong Kong, and look, he's worked fine. He's arrived in no problems. It's just he's got a sort of his barrier manners worries me a bit.
There he is, completing some track work, and here's a Pfeiffer, Tom, on the turf track.
Yeah, he's 1,193 pounds. He's a horse that's had 21 starts over Macau for 5 wins, and you saw him in that video there. He was another one to get hampered in that out-to-win race, but just I think it's going to be tough for him too.
Comprehensive. Who's the winner?
I think Beauty Eternal, after all that, can win this race once again. Back at 1,400 metres, Red Lion, the Irishman, the Golden Scenery all come out of that same race, but better at the weights. 2:12.58.
It really is Beauty Eternal's race to lose. This one, number 2 on top ahead of 3 Circuit Stella. He'll be there for a long way again. Red Lion, number 12, and give Beluga a chance in this race as well, a 5-time course and distance winner, 2, 3, 12 and 4.
And that is the preview for the Hong Kong Macau Trophy. Off to a break here on Racing to Win, back with a whole lot more right after this. Welcome back to Racing to Win. We're sticking with Macau now. It's not the trophy, but it is the Macau Handicap race number 8 over the 1,200 metres for the Class 3 Gallopers. Flying Ace having his first start since October. He had a lame right 4 in November, which has kept him off the track. Winner method, blinkers for the first time. Bundle of Charm is a 2-time course and distance winner. Excellent Fighter carries an extra £6 for his win on the 26th of March. Rev Parisian, last start winner. First start for Peter Ho too, led all of the way. Happy Golfer's unbeaten course and distance as he comes up in grade. Excellent Daddy is back in distance, and the runner has shown his best form across at Happy Valley. good field, this one, Tom. Plenty of up-and-coming types going around in it. Who lands where?
Well, Rev Parisian led up last time out, and he was able to kick off the front and lead, so they'll be trying something similar again with a bit more weight on his back. California Vein should be able to stalk him. Excellent Fight has just got a little bit of a tricky draw, but should be able to get across in front of Flying Ace out of barrier 11, Flying Ace from barrier 5, and then the odd one out, Paul, is the runner who does prefer Happy Valley.
He does, doesn't he? He looks like he could be stuck wide. He's got the Macau jockey on as well. Look, Thesis, I think he'll go back. He generally does, and Solid Shala as well.
Thesis having his first start since the 23rd of April. He's had 2 trials since his last appearance. We're going to have a look at some of these runners now, Paul, and we're going to start across at Happy Valley with Bundle of Charm through on the inside. Now, his winning ratings have been 58 and 52. He's currently rated 72 in this race, and Solid Shala's only been lightly raced here in Hong Kong. He's in behind him in the red, white and green. Yeah,
you can't have Solid Shala, but Bundle of Charm's consistent, and that's his problem. He's one off those ratings, as you mentioned, and he's up to a rating of 72 because he keeps placing. Look, I've included him, but on a minor line.
He's in on a minor line as well, but he's literally just been stranded on 70, 71, 72 for months and months and months now with this horse. And that was clearly, it was rated good, but clearly there was a bit of fire out of the track, and there is some rain supposedly coming for Saturday afternoon as well.
There is indeed. As we move on to Excellent Fighter, Tom, now he's been able to take the step up to the 1200. He's won his last 2. It's De Souza for Ricky Yu.
And he was pretty good last time out. He stalked the pace in a good spot, one back, one out, and found plenty late in the piece. He's been back to the trial since. He looked good in his recent barrier trial. I thought did Excellent Fighter. He's shown, Paul, that he's really progressive, a 3-time winner now of his 5 starts, but he has to take that next step again.
He does. Look, he's drawn this awkward barrier, as you mentioned earlier on. He'll just hope Rev Parisian crosses California Veins, otherwise he could be stuck wide, but I think Rev Parisian will cross.
And there he is, Paul. Rev Parisian. Nobody saw this coming first up for Peter Ho.
No, and look, this is how when he won at a big price, I think it was 90 odd to 1 for Paul O'Sullivan. He did something very similar, went to the front and they couldn't catch him. So this is the right way to ride him, and I'm sure they're going to try and do something similar here.
Yeah, he was just able to kick strongly and able to hold the ball at bay in the end here. So he did a good job, but I just wonder about him taking that next step as well. He's only got extra £3 to carry with the £2 claim of Matthew Poon, but this is a really strong race.
Here's Happy Golf. He's certainly taken the step up to racing at Sha Tin, having won his last 2 over 1,400 metres, Paul, and there he is on the outside. Can he carry on his winning way?
See what you did there, Mark. Yeah, I think he can. Look, he seems quite progressive. Once he stepped up to the 1,400 metres, he's gone really well. He's won in some pretty good form races. He's drawn nicely in barrier 2, so he's going to get the good run.
He is, and he was able to win this race over Multi Darling, who goes round earlier on in the card, and he was really strong over the final stages. His barrier trial looked good, and Zach Purton getting on board for the first time, carrying the 121. So I think on all known form, he's going to be tough to beat.
What have you made of his trial since, Tom? There he is leading for home on the all-weather last time, and he goes on to win this trial too.
Yeah, it was really easy in the end, so I think he's in sort of good condition coming into this. 2 wins now of his 4 starts. At his first one, he was off at 10 to 1, and he went off at sort of 14 to 1 in both of his first 2 starts, but just a light bit of maintenance here, Paul. Not really asked for too much, but when he quickened nicely.
He did, didn't he? Like, he really stretched out well towards the end. So as you say, just ticking over nicely here at the moment.
This is what he's done since he's been here, Paul, and there it is. 4 starts for 2 wins. His first 2 starts he ran 7th and 9th. Might have been a bit unlucky in a couple of them too. Yeah,
exactly. And then they were at both at Happy Valley as well. So he's unbeaten now here at Sha Tin, 2 from 2. Obviously likes it here, drawn nicely, barrier 2. He's going well.
We move on, Tom, to an interesting runner in Flying Ace. Looked like he was going to set the world on fire, winning his first 4 starts. Then he ran 5th behind Gallant Waking last time. As mentioned, he's been off the scene with that tendon issue.
So 206 days away. He's had 3 trials. Zach Purton's been on board for the last 2, including this one, and he quickened nicely here late in this trial, I thought, to go on and win it. He's just got to carry the excuse me, Paul, the big weight first up, which might be tough.
Yeah, that's the query, and being off the track for so long as well. But we know he's a classy horse. He looked really progressive.
And he's going to have Hugh Bowman on board for David Hall. It was a right 4 injury, not a tendon. Just correction there. Good field. Who do you like?
Got to go with Happy Golf, barrier number 2. I think he's going to be in the right position. He can beat Flying Ace. Excellent Fighter. Again, he's won his last couple, and Bundle of Charm's been very consistent. 9, 1, 4 and 3.
Yeah, they certainly look to be the four numbers, but yeah, Happy Golf on top on what he's done in his last two, stepping up in grade lightweight. Good trial coming into this. Flying Ace has obviously got to carry the weight, but he's shown he's got plenty of ability. A four-time winner of his 5 starts. Bundle of Charm on a place line, and excellent fighter. Just hopefully gets across from barrier number 11 to Souza and Ricky Yu. 9, 1, 3 and 4.
That is all of the information for race number 8. We've seen race 7, we've seen race 8. Paul, give us a few other winners.
Well, first race looks hard, but I thought Over the Moon's due to win. Awesome Treasure be in the right spot. Multi Super should get an easy lead in front. Midas Touch is a first starter who's gone really well on the trials. I thought Colonel will get the easiest lead of the day, so I think he's going to be a chance at a prize. Solar Partner, his stablemate, I think he can win as well. And also Golden Artie, he's come out of a really strong form race and won nicely. And Unpresuming went back last time. I think they'll go forward this time.
That is Paul's selections for the 10 races. Of the 10, who's top of the list?
Going to go with Golden Artie there in race number 9. I just think he's come out strong form race, not usual stars, come out and won impressively since then, so I think he can win. And Colonel, go to the front, catch me if you can on the C course. I don't know if they can, and maybe the first win here for Brenton Abdallah at a good price. The play in race 4, QQP, Healthy, the first starter, Midas Touch, and Happy Horse, not better run from him last start.
Certainly was best for me in the final race with Happy together. He gets the right kind of ride and the right kind of run of the race. I think he'll be very tough to beat. He's been unlucky his last couple. Richard Gibson, Zach Purton, Noble win. Another one here for Brenton Abdallah. Didn't mind his last start run. He certainly improved. That's horse 13 in race number 9. And the play with the best peach, Happy together, and Entrusted, who I thought was a little bit unlucky last time out. So 1-3-7 in the last.
Time Storm to break through at start number 13. He was tried in front 2 starts ago. He didn't finish it off. Then last time he didn't get much room and was badly held up. So Luke Ferraris rides for David Hall. Just needs that ounce of luck and a bit of pace on. Pins Prince is first up from a bleed. Has won first up before. Gets in here well rated with 134 pounds on his back. He has won with 133 in the past. So we'll make him the long shot. And the play back to race 2. E-Brother, Awesome Treasure and Time Storm numbers 1, 5 and 10 in a QQP in race number 2. That has been racing to win the preview for Sha Tin on Saturday afternoon. So 10 races coming up. And then we're back to the Valley on Wednesday night, Tom.
Yeah, we've got 9 races there. Class 2, 1,200 metres. How deep is your love? And we're packing treadmillers going to Happy Valley for the first time. We saw a soft track at the weekend. Paul, hope we don't end up with another one Saturday.
Yeah, and Superb Capitalist is also racing. He's in the Class 3, 1,200. So he'll be going to the front. We'll see if he can hang on at Happy Valley.
We will. But the focus before we get to Happy Valley on Wednesday night is the Hong Kong Macau Trophy Day coming up at Sha Tin on Saturday. We'll see you for the first at 1 o'clock.